When's the last time you actually experienced silence? You know, just the sounds of the real world out there, all alone, thinking to yourself, like, silence. Do you know what I mean? Check out this clip. This is 1 minute of being in the real world is like. 1 minute of real world silence. I crave the shit out of it. Picture days of it, weeks of it. It's pretty actually cool just hearing the word, the sounds of the world. But here it is. I just realized this clip is 1 minute of calm, cool, awesome, real world silence. And then on to hearing some voices. And just like that, back in the man cave again. As this frickin' lifetime flips by like a movie reel. So fast. I'm not doing any videoing while out on the coast. Excuse me, I guess all you got to go by is what I share with you. Yesterday was rain sideways, wind, cloud, fog. Lots of boats trying to find shelter and catch fish, but we caught some. Not too many were catching any fish. It was a tough grind, but a lot of fun. I noticed one thing. One thing I noticed, I didn't really think about this till yesterday, but the last 2 days is the people we have on board with me. We all have laugh attacks every day. It's laugh attacks nonstop. It's sharing knowledge that we've all acquired all our lives, life stories, lots of different views, many similar. It's a very interesting time, for real. It's a very good time. I think that's one thing I can't let go of, going hunting or fishing with numerous people from around the planet. It's tough for me to let go because it's such it's such an enriching time to have people on board my boat that I don't normally can communicate with and have quality out like 8, 9 hours a day. Sharing shit is really good. But anyway, I'm back. What is that? At 3:45 yesterday morning, I sat down for the first time at 8:15 p.m., I think. 5 days straight of that, I think. Crazy, right? Running out of time. What am I going to do now? Well, I noticed one of my front tires of my truck is feathering a little bit. I'm like, oh, great. So I expected, got to jack that sucker up, measure my wheels and see what's up with alignment, see what's a little worn out because I got to do another big road trip. Got to shovel out the meat chicken barn, clean it up, get ready for little peeps to come to grow our new meat chickens and turkeys. What else? News on this topic that dominates my channel. We have a kind lady I met briefly, I think a year ago or a couple years ago. A year ago? I don't know. Not too far from here. Brave lady by the sounds of it. She escaped an abusive relationship. Good for you. I'm sure you're following the channel. And she has a lot of ongoing things Sarah shared with me this morning. A lot of ongoing things with these other people. So I told Sarah to let her know I want to talk to her. We could talk on here or not. A lot of people are nervous of talking on the camera. But so far, every nervous person I talked to is apprehensive about it. I try to assure them that as soon as you hit record and we start bullshitting, it's just a bullshit session. It's not an official. What a lot of people do, they govern themselves accordingly and stay on topic. Don't say this, don't say that, look this way. Ain't none of that phony bullshit here. What I'm saying is, as soon as you hit record, the camera soon disappears. It's very easy. So she might do that. Sarah has someone lined up to come here tomorrow with me and talk to me to share with you about what they've seen and what they know. I'm really, really looking forward to those. Obviously, you know my schedule. I'm not here. There's no frickin' way I'm pulling that off in the boat. There's no way. There's no way I'm doing 9 hours and then cleaning the boat, get my shit ready, trying to eat some food, and then lining up, having a 2-hour conversation on the boat. It's not going to happen. But this month is rapidly flipping by. It'll be done pretty quick. And it'll be back to putting a lot of energy into this and all the people I can here, as well as living life, right? But anyway, I've had texts on my phone from friends for days. I got caught up somewhat this morning because when I'm fishing, I just don't, the sucker gets tossed away. When I'm off doing my thing, I don't look at the damn thing. But it's kind of amusing. I thought for the first part, I'd share with everybody what it looks like on my phone in the morning. If I go to, say, I don't know, let's go onto YouTube and see what's automatically fed to my eyeballs without asking for it, all right? Let's have a quick look. What do we got? U.S. blinks withdraws deadline. Oh, well. So that's the war update. I'm just reading titles of what comes up stuffed in my face right off the bat, if I was to look. Collapse of the dollar. The death of Europe. Alien tech heading toward Earth. These are all topics on various channels, all right? Let's see what else we got. Do you think the Epstein files should be made public? Epstein. Vulnerable victims. What's this one? Nuclear war. Closer than ever. What else do we got? A medium. Talks about life after death. What else? Will Trump pardon Ghislaine Maxwell? Is the title of another video. Bunch of basically... Oh, Open Contact is coming with scary spaceships with that Bashar dude in the background. What else do we got? Trump's fatal mistake. What else do we got? We can't land on the moon. So if any of these titles are actually worthy of energy, let me know, right? I'm not going to get into them. I'm just saying how my brain works when I see the mainstream blasts coming up. The U.S. is no longer a country of laws. The world isn't. Never has been, I don't think. At any time. Lots of Epstein stuff. Lots of alien invasion stuff. CIA survival guide. Have you seen this douche? Yeah, I'm going to say it. Some guy, the guy with the check hair. Ex-CIA operative. At this stage of the game, when it comes to CIA, how can anybody even publicly admit that they're in any way associated with those? I'll bite my lip. Do you know what I mean? It's amazing that anyone who has the 3-letter CIA associated with their name, how can they get any respect or any attention from all of you, all of us, at this stage of the game? I don't have a clue. Anyway, done with that one. What should we be focusing on for real? What would I think? I'm not right all the time, that's for sure, but I think I always try to share with people that we need to focus on doing what we love to do. Number one. If you can't do what you love to do, you need to find a way to do it, and you need to remove obstacles to stop you and prevent you from doing what you love to do. That's what I firmly believe. If everybody could focus on that instead of 3/4 of the garbage I just recited off this stupid little handheld idiot box, right? You got to concentrate on what's good. And when you come up across the evil in the dark, you kick it to the curb, make it disappear real quick and forget about it. And don't keep talking about it and giving the dark attention, you know? It's a tough thing to do. But I'll give a little bit of attention to the alien invasion thing that's coming. I caught a quick little thing from, now my brain farts. You know when your brain farts when you have a name? Jeremy Corbyn. I've seen him a couple times with some people that I feel are fairly credible talking. He's really heavily into the UFO thing, right? Always has been. You can Google him up. I think he's produced some shows in the past. But anyway, I saw him in an interview while I was glancing at my phone the other night, a few nights ago. And he said that the blatant lie and there's a date. He's in an interview, and it was a part of the interview that he thought wasn't recorded. Possibly. Who knows? Who knows these days, right? Saying how 2027... the world dirtbags are orchestrating and trying to convince the entire planet that an alien ship is coming our way. Contact's inevitable. And that it's all a lie. And it's funny when I hear something like that and I see it delivered, see the person's eyes, see it delivered, I'm like, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. But I may put that on a little shelf back there. And then you scroll through your idiot handheld idiot box and it says various people coming up talking about, is there an alien thing coming? Is there an alien object on its way to Earth right now? And then I look at that channel and go, uh-oh, possible douchebag channel. You see, this is Bashar dude. Alien contact is imminent. Uh-oh, possible douchebag right there. You know what I mean? What do you guys think about that? The inevitable alien contact coming our way. What do you think that is? Not a big joke? What do you think? I can't tell anybody what to think. Do I think it's a joke? Yep. Nope. I don't think it's coming our way at the exact same time. Oh, the mainstream YouTube channels and possible government entities are starting to percolate. I heard that one for quite some time, actually. I think maybe even up to 10 years ago, I remember hearing a rumor about the next big lie is going to be the alien ship coming and hovering over our cities. What do you guys think? Valid or no? Anyway, I'm really rambling. I haven't sat here for a while. What else? Back on topic. Had some cool dudes, awesome friends on the boat yesterday. Heard a lot. We talk about so much. I talk about so much, so many people. I think sometimes I'm more exhausted from talking. Uh-oh, I just got a text from the big boss inside the house and I gotta go eat my breakfast. I'm a little late. Maybe that's probably a good thing to keep me from babbling. But we talked about a lot of various different sightings and experiences of people that are on my boat and friends and family of theirs they shared with me over the past couple of days, and it's never not interesting, right? First-hand news from real people. That gets my attention more than anything. And I thought about it, I was driving home yesterday by myself, and I was driving rather slower than I normally do, like a psycho on that old road, and just because I knew I was overtired. But it gives me a lot of time to think, and I pass by a lot of places where stuff goes on. And all the garbage is coming directly in our faces via the handheld idiot box, and the bigger idiot boxes, right? But sometimes I wonder, what would I actually ask these other people? I think right now, from where my mind is right now, which is absolutely topped right up with the bullshit and done with it, I think right now I would almost be willing, I'm almost there, I would almost be willing to just go, I know where these people are. I know where they are more often than not. Let's put it that way. And I think I'd probably just go there now, at this stage of the game possibly, sit down, and I'm just going to say, what do you know? Why would they talk to me, though? I don't know. Why would they talk to any one of us? I haven't a freaking clue. For real. Why would these people want to make contact with us? For real. Why? Right? I wouldn't. Would you? If you didn't have to, would you? I wouldn't. No way. Imagine? No. No, I wouldn't. But let's just say it could go down. I think at this stage of the game, I think I'm ready to sit down and go, all right, aside from all the horse shit, all the being scared of each other, being scared in general, all the mysteries, all the horse shit, let's just, any of you people out there meeting the people that are living around us, want to sit down and tell me what you know. I'm all ears. I'm open. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for someone or something to share with me what they know. Aren't you? Are you ready? I'm ready. I want to know what you know. That's it. I don't give a shit where you live. I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't need a picture of you. I don't need a videotape of you. But if you want to share with me what you know, and I'll share with you what I know, if there's anything that I might know that you don't know, which I don't think there's much of a chance of that, I think I'm getting ready to be game to sit down and possibly have that conversation if there is some of these people with, and I will say this with confidence, with a pure enough strain of DNA in them that allows them to do this. I think I'd do it. Because I am a firm believer that there's different There is different DNA amongst them, I'm quite certain. Coming from, interbreeding with. Who? With us? Possibly. I think so. I think so only because of the actions of many of these other people and us and our homes, I think. But anyway, I hope I'm getting across smoothly what my brain has got going on between its ears. Speaking of that too, I have started to try to master meditation, little baby steps at a time, because you imagine how hard that is for my brain to go blank and not think of anything. Holy shit, it's challenging, but I'm going to get there. I'll get there. I think any one of us, you put your mind to wanting to do something, you're going to do it. That's a fact. Anyway, ramble bamble. I'm going to come back in here in a few minutes and get some voices heard, maybe some more thoughts shared. And I'll have to go and eat my breakfast or I'm going to get beat up for being late. Back in a minute. All right. I'm back and I'm fed. I'm a little more relaxed. A little more relaxed. Probably behind a bunch of sleep, but I had a lot last night, the most I've had all week, which is good. But what was I getting at when I left off for breakfast? I was talking about finally just sitting down and asking someone, what do you know? And would you share it with me by any chance? I don't know what I have in trade. I don't really have too much I could trade with somebody or some being which I find was most likely quite a bit more intelligent than I, right? Not too hard to find, actually. But anyway, because I'm definitely, I don't know about all of you, but for my personal ride right now with knowledge gaining, I'm pretty well topped up with the bullshit. I've had enough of it, so. I've had enough of it, but I'm ready to hear from someone else. You know, I'm ready to hear from someone else. I'm ready to hear. I'm always uber enthusiastic to hear from all of you, all of the people in the world. First off, just so you know. But I am ready now. I am ready to hear from someone who may be of intelligence, not the same species as me, and can communicate, and just wants to communicate and not swing their dick and be intimidating and scare the shit out of people or demeaning in a way. You know what I mean? How we have been treated and looked at as though we are scum of the earth by a lot of these people and their actions and their looks and their faces and what they tell us through telepathy, right? I get it. Believe me, I'm no threat, but yeah, I'm ready for some of them to just sit down and tell me what you know. What do you know? And what do you want me to share with you that I might know that you don't? You know what I mean? And then part our ways. Safe and neutral and informative. But I'm just trying to picture how possibly another species, another being, another person, not quite the same as us, would benefit in any way at all by speaking with me on a neutral level ground. How would they benefit? What would the trade-off be? Do you know what I mean? Why would you even, let's face it, I don't waste my breath or time when it comes to individuals who I deem as an absolute waste of my time. I don't do it. I don't have that time. And I wonder if that's how these other people view us, or me and us, you and I. I have a feeling that's probably the case, right? But we do have a lot of people I believe are very credible who are in contact with these people, including possibly a lady in my own community up the road here who's been getting, possibly be getting tidbits here and there of information, verbal information, signs, whatever it is. I'll find out and learn from it, possibly share with you guys. But aren't you guys full of shit, had it up to the nuts with the shit, the bullshit? These little handheld idiot boxes are full of it. If you follow any mainstream right now, it's very hard. It's very hard to find a source today for true valuable knowledge. And I don't mean skill knowledge. You know what I mean? Like people say, how to do this, how to do that, tie a knot, make a fire, survive in the woods, how to fix your truck. I mean knowledge about us. You know what I mean? Knowledge about us and where we live and where we come from, what we're supposed to be doing, what we aren't supposed to be doing. You know? Plain. All right, I've had a lot of time to think to myself. I'm probably not going to make any sense. So let's get into hearing from some people, shall we? All right, what do we got? Ex-combat veteran story. Hello, Steve. I'm 51 years old. I'm an ex-police officer, combat veteran, and avid hunter, fisherman, and outdoorsman. I was raised in South Central Ohio, where I've been hunting nearly my entire life. I have seen or experienced every type of animal in the forests of Ohio, including black bear and bobcat. My experience with one of these creatures happened 18 years ago on private property near a correctional facility in Hocking County, just south of Lancaster, Ohio. This private property's boundaries end at the correctional facility and the Hocking National Forest. It was October, and the rut was in full swing. It was a cold, overcast, late evening hunt for whitetail, and I was heading to my favorite spot where I had harvested a few nice bucks. From the house where I parked my vehicle, you only have to walk a quarter mile into the forest to be in whitetail heaven. The walk is up a steep hillside, and my favorite spot is at the base of a small 30-foot rock that goes straight up. There's no way to climb this without climbing gear. The only way to go up there is to walk around it, which is about 200 yards in either direction. What you find is a plateau and the edge of the prison's property line. As usual, I sat down with my back against this sheer rock wall, and I was facing the house down below me. There's a major deer trail that goes from my right to left and is ranged at 30 yards. Fantastic spot due to wind direction, which blew directly towards my face, concealment of the rock wall, and the elevated position. With the added conveniences of being so close to my vehicle and a bright security light mounted on a telephone pole, there was never concern to bring a flashlight. This area is full of the annoying population of squirrels. Although they are small, they make so much noise. And every hunter knows the squeal noises these things make when they see you. As I was waiting for my trophy whitetail, I was occasionally hit by acorns. I honestly didn't think much about it. I attributed this to the pesky squirrels that were all around me, but I soon found out that this activity was not from the squirrels. It eventually became so dark that I was unable to see, so I stood up and began my journey towards the security light, as I always have done before. After I'd walked approximately about 30 yards, I literally jumped from the top of the rock wall and landed. After I had walked approximately 30 yards, I literally jumped from the top of the rock wall and landed. I, or something, with such weight behind it, my original thought was that a tree had just fallen. All right, there's a typo in there, I'm guessing. Excuse me. I stood there perplexed as I did not hear it roll or crashing branches. It landed with only a huge thud. And as I froze in place, intently listening, what I heard next chilled me to my very core. It was breathing. Each breath was very long and deep. I stared into the direction of the noise, long and hard. I was trying my best to see through the forest. In pitch darkness, I could barely see my hands in front of my face. Then it made a powerful blow noise towards me like a deer when it is alert to your presence. But this thing was no deer. The noise was way too long and powerful. Thoughts of what else it could be in Ohio came rushing through my mind. When I came to the conclusion that nothing I know of in this state would or could accomplish the 30-foot jump, or the long drawn-out breathing, or that powerful of a warning signal, panic began to set in. It took 2 steps toward me, and I began to run with everything I had towards the security light. If anyone has ever experienced true darkness in the woods, you know that you can't see a thing. And as I ran, logs, fallen branches, and vines were constantly tripping me. I would fall on my face and slide to a stop. This must have happened at least 5 times, and each time I could hear it walking behind me, and stop each time I fell. I heard it taking very heavy steps behind me, and then stop each time. It could have me anytime it desired. I'd never felt this vulnerable or helpless my entire life. And as I finally reached the bottom of the hillside, I put my back against the light pole and faced towards it. I brought my gun to my shoulder and began scanning with it. And I had every intention of shooting at the edge of the light, but in a surprised move, it did not exit the woods in the same path. Instead, I caught a glimpse of its nocturnal eyes, about blank yards to my left. No number there. The security light made its eyes light up like a nocturnal animal. The only problem was what I was seeing. The only problem was what I was seeing where the eyes were 6 feet or so off the ground. His eyes are all I could make out. Then it turned and walked back up the hillside. I was left shocked at my experience, and I'll never go back. It began to haunt my nightmares, and it still does to this day. Thank you for allowing me to share my unnerving experience. David. Pretty unnerving. I don't know why they do it. I haven't a clue. But they do. I don't know why they do that. What's this one? It's from a truck driver from Alaska. Hello, Steve. I'm a truck driver in Alaska. I haul double trailers of produce nightly from Anchorage to Fairbanks and on occasion to the Aitken Peninsula, with Homer, Alaska being the furthest point. This last winter, my company hired a kid just out of trucking school, and he needed training, so I volunteered to help him. In the training, we needed chaining experience and mountain experience with an 18 speed while pulling doubles. It can get squirrely if you don't know what you're doing. No doubt. We're driving through Donaldson, Alaska on the Aitken Peninsula around 2 a.m. and just before the big hill, I decided to pull over and chain up. Plus, we were both chomping at the bit to relieve ourselves. The kid was riding shotgun. We both stepped from the tractor, and as soon as my feet hit the icy pavement, I hear gut-curdling scream from the other side of the rig. I instantly thought bear, and then I thought, no, it's winter. And I ran over, and the kid was in shock. And he pointed to a wall by a boat sales yard, and I looked over, and I could not believe my eyes. It looked like something you would see in a movie. King Kong is real. This giant ape-like creature was at least 10 feet tall and 4 foot wide shoulder to shoulder. It looked more frightened than us. And what I remember the most was the long black hair like a bear humanoid face. What I remember the most was the long black hair like a bear, humanoid face, and it had hooves like a goat, not hands. I knew this, quote, Bigfoot, end quote, may not be of this world. I grabbed the kid and we quickly left. My life has changed forever. I did some research after the sighting and someone told me of a disabled guy that travels around Alaska and Washington getting good footage of these things. This encounter changed my life completely. I don't drive a truck anymore and I actually have a hard time sleeping or doing anything at night. I now fear the woods. I never imagined something like this could change lives so drastically. There's a video I just saw with the Prime Minister of Canada reporting his knowledge of 20 or more aliens on this planet, some of which are giant bugs, and not all of them are nice. I have a copy of the video if you can't find it. Thank you, Steve. You may not know this, but you're definitely helping me. And I'm sure many more people. Holy shit, that's pretty crazy. You know what? Normally, in the past, when I hear something like that, I would just be like, oh boy, oh yeah, whatever. But I have a few people who I have a lot of respect for, who are very knowledgeable, and they have done a lot of digging, man. Like, we're talking over 30 years of intense digging, and they have convinced me that our DNA has been spliced with all sorts of weird shit a long time ago. I believe that is true. I believe that is true. And there's still some of these beings are present today. Where they come from, I don't know. Where do they go? I don't know. Do I think they are here full time on this plane that we are? No. No, I don't. Hold on a minute. Excuse me. Central Arkansas. Hey, Steve Aska, the only use my first name, which is also Steve. I've got an encounter to share with you and your listeners. It's probably not as interesting as most encounters you read, but it was real and very intense for me if no one believes me. It happened in September 2012 in Central Arkansas. It was a month before archery season, whitetail. And I was out scouting and checking game cameras. And things started out normally. I made my way from camera to camera and looking for deer signs. The land I hunt is private and barely under 200 acres. And only myself and two of my grown sons hunt on this land, but more times than not, it's just me. I would say the biggest part of the land is loblolly pine, open timber in places and super thick underbrush in others. There are 4 pastures, and there's a section of huge open hardwoods, mostly giant white oaks, that fruit some of the largest acorns I've ever seen. The hardwoods are where I started. There are cattle on the land, so tons of cow trails that I walk looking for deer tracks, as they walk these trails sometimes too. I made my way out of the hardwoods and walked one edge of a pasture till I hit this section of open pines. Most of these pines are good, straight, telephone pole quality trees, great for climbing stands. Eventually, the underbrush starts getting thicker and thicker, and if you aren't on a cow/game trail, it can be quite difficult to make headway. As you go even further into the thickets, the bigger pines are more spread out, and there are tons of different sized saplings and a large variety of trees, mostly sweet gum or golden amber trees. I would say the average thickness of these sweet gums at head level would be the diameter of a Louisville Slugger. And as I started to get close to this area, I felt what many who have sent in their encounters have said. I felt a sense of dread, like I was being hunted or stalked. My mind immediately thought black bear, and through the years we've seen a few. Then I thought about coyotes, but they would most likely be rabid to consider attacking an adult. And those thoughts came and went literally in a second or two, and I immediately knew it was something else. I didn't want to give in and accept what I was thinking it could be. I was frozen in fear. I felt I should head to the truck and leave, but I still have a few more cameras to check. I know I stood there for no less than 5 minutes, and I finally told myself to get a grip before I had a heart attack as my heart was beating out of my chest. It was then I started noticing several of these baseball bat diameter trees that were broken over. I'd estimate the breaks were around 10 feet up the trees. I also noticed that the tops of the trees were broken over, all pointed at me, and they made a half circle in front of me. Okay, so now I'm legitimately freaked out. I'm seriously waiting for the heart attack. The sense of dread is now completely overwhelming, and even though I grew up hunting these woods, I found myself completely disoriented. I soon realized that I was on a cow/game trail. I also realized that either way I go on this trail, that I will come out in one of the pastures. And I had the clarity to know where I was. If I could just make it to any of these pastures, I would know what direction to go. And as I contemplated whether to go forward or to go the other way, I heard something that jarred my whole system. Immediately after hearing this sound, I had clarity. The dread completely disappeared and curiosity took over. And what I heard was a child crying. Not a baby necessarily, but a toddler maybe. Any feeling of fear was gone. Now it's just curiosity and concern about this kid that must be lost in the woods. I'm guessing the cries are maybe 50 yards ahead, and I take a few steps. The woods in front of me explode with snapping limbs and timber shaking, and holy crap, something is coming my way. And suddenly there he was. The cause of dread and fear was standing right in front of me. I say he because, trust me, there was no doubt. There was no doubt about his manhood. I have to say that for the most part, most descriptions fit perfectly with this dude. He had to be. 4 foot wide shoulder span, legs at least as big around as my torso. That's what my grandfather said. I'm 5'8", 220. Definitely a body rippling with noticeable muscles, but no six-pack abs. In fact, I'd say he had a bit of a belly. Jet black, shiny hair all over, except for what skin you would see on a bearded man's face. The hair seemed to be less dense on his feet and the top of his hands. The skin color reminded me of the color of the charcoal gray pencil. Not the skin color of a black man or any other race I've ever seen. Dark charcoal gray is the best I can describe it. My house has 8-foot ceilings, and he was easily that tall, if not a little more than that. Okay, so this is my take on what I saw and what I didn't see. What I saw was a massive man. This was no ape. Not half ape, half man. There is absolutely no doubt. I'll even say this. He's actually a fairly good-looking man. And yeah, not really a noticeable neck. I never noticed any odor, and enough for the description and back to the story. So, he has just ran up and stopped right in front of me, 10 yards max. So we eye one another for maybe 5 seconds, then he slowly turns and looks behind him. And holy crap, there's another one. I'm guessing 6'6", noticeably smaller than he was. This one was about 20 yards further behind him, and although I'm not positive, I'm guessing it was female. I'd say this because, although I never saw a juvenile with it, the crying I had heard hadn't completely stopped, and I'm pretty sure this was Mom walking away with a toddler. As soon as she started to take off, Big Boy looked back at me. He then raised his arm and pointed, not at me, but as if to say I needed to leave. I know that's what he was telling me. And as I walked away, my surroundings started becoming familiar again. And at this point I wasn't as scared as much as I was just uneasy. Made it my truck, headed home. Didn't sleep at all that night. This is the first I've ever spoken of it. I know this sounds stupid, but I always felt if I said anything, he'd know. And somehow I'd have to answer for saying something. Even as I tell this, the hair on my neck is standing up. I really think he knows. I still hunt there, but not nearly as much as I used to. I definitely avoid the section of woods. I've been within 100 yards or so, but I feel I shouldn't go any closer. Although I'm sure they aren't always in that one little section, I feel like it's off limits to me. I've never even seen a Bigfoot track out there. I've found broken trees since then, but I haven't felt they were in the area at those times. Oh, the one I'm sure was a female was more of a dark, rich brown color than black. I couldn't make out too many details or features on that one except for the height and the color differences. Again, I never could make out the one that was crying. And I completely believe they are another race of people. The whole sixth sense thing you talk about, I fully believe you're right. After experiencing those feelings, even before I saw him, they can tap into something we can't and bring feelings of fear and dread and disorientation. It has to be their first line of defense. I can say that I wouldn't mind seeing one again, but from like 100 yards away, and it not being pissed off. I sure didn't get that warm and fuzzy vibe from him. Please use my first name only. Thanks, Steve. There you go. That sounds a little familiar too, but whatever. I'm going way back in my notes right now, trying to get reorganized and get things in line. I'm sick and tired of having my shit all over the map. But those 2,500 emails going missing from my notes is just a very frustrating thing. So I just got to deal with it, right? Just got to deal with it. Definitely another species of people, without a doubt in my mind. I don't need anybody to agree with me either. It's just the way I feel about it. They are definitely another species. And I wonder which one of them wants to possibly just have a little chin waggle one day and just tell me what they know. That's all I want to know. What do you know? and I don't want them to answer any of the ridiculous nonstop questions going on in mainstream media right now. I think my eyeballs are sunburnt, sorry. But when it comes to our politics, our celebrities, our depraved, huge pedophile population around the globe, I think we all have the answers to what's going on right now, right? But I want some answers about what they know. I mean, shit that's gonna freak me out. I want to hear about that. I want to hear about it. I want to hear it direct from another source. But then how do you even know if they're telling you the truth, right? There's another shitty thing is the majority of the people who I've spoken to, who I'm confident are in or have been in contact with these people. Excuse me, I've never had one person yet say that they believe everything they're told from them. Then you got to take that into freaking heart. And why don't they do that? Wasn't there some group of somebody somewhere that just tells the honest truth all the time? Do you know what I mean? Like, come on, just enough of the... obviously, I've had enough of the bullshit. It's not hard to be in that position of having enough of the bullshit when you go away, like I do so often. I spend so much time in the real world. Bullshit-free world, right? I'm just relying on my senses, my skills, and I'm doing what we're naturally built to do intensely, and then I come back home. And then I dive into what's going on. And it's so much bullshit. I'm done with it. How many times have I said that today? All right, hold on. Let's see what else we can share here. Memory from childhood. Steve, I'm one of those not subscribed lurkers that has had multiple encounters with these beings. I was 7 years old, living on a dead-end road next to a gravel pit. I was out in front of my house alone when something caught my attention. I started walking across the street. I got about to the middle of the road and looked to my left. Standing there motionless in the tree line, skylined, with his back to the gravel pit, was one of these things. It stood about 8 feet tall, with shoulders about 4 feet wide, all black, with no noticeable neck. I was frozen, staring at it for at least a minute. I was about 40 feet from it, and there's no doubt in my mind what I'd seen. I turned and ran to my house, went inside, and told my father there was a Bigfoot outside. He must have believed me because I remember him days later running out of the brush trying to scare me. I remember thinking to myself, he didn't believe me. We lived about a mile from the Mohawk River in upstate New York and spent our childhood every day in the gravel pit and down by the river with never having another encounter. Years later, I'd go hiking up in the Adirondack Mountains with groups of my friends into Keene Valley. We'd go off trail and camp at a pretty isolated spot in an open area with a beaver dam and a nice trout stream running through it. We woke up the following day and had planned on hiking Dick's Mountain. I didn't feel good, so I decided to stay at camp instead of doing the half-day hike. And after everyone left, I started feeling better, so decided to do some trout fishing. It's the smallest, shallow stream. I was fishing the bends in the stream. I would take a few casts and walk a little way to the next bend and cast again. I remember I was standing there and decided to move again when I took one step and all hell broke loose to my left. This was a violent bluff charge. No vocals, just limbs breaking. I didn't put two and two together until years later. It was a scary situation and thought I was done for when I realized it wasn't coming. It was going. And it kept breaking branches until I couldn't hear it no more. Nothing else happened that trip. The other encounter was again hiking in the Adirondack Mountains. I was with a group of 4 guys and it was a total calm day. We're hiking along when out of the blue we hear the unforgettable crack of a tree being pushed over right near us. We didn't see the tree fall or what pushed the tree over, but it stopped us in our tracks. And again, I didn't put this together until years later when hearing other stories of these things pushing trees over to scare people out of the area. My older brother was solo hunting at Indian Lake in the Adirondack Mountains at a hunting cabin. He got into the hunting camp before nightfall, planning on getting up at daybreak to hunt. And as soon as it got dark out, he heard something outside the cabin making a ruckus. He said the noises kept getting close until this damn thing was right outside of the cabin screaming. He said it sounded like a big person screaming, but what alarmed him was the duration of the scream and the fact that the windows were vibrating. He said he crouched down in the corner of the cabin with his gun loaded until daybreak. He decided to leave and not go hunting. He also told me about a story our dad told him about being at the same cabin with his hunting buddies. They were part of the hunting camp. They decided to hike a nearby mountain and plant an American flag on top of the mountain. The strange part of the story was the, quote, bear, end quote, that was yelling at them when they got to the top of the mountain. And you might be wondering why I never put two and two together with my other encounters. And as a young child seeing one of these things, it was such a scary encounter that I all but forgot about my encounter with this, I think, until my older brother told me about his encounter. That's when I started to look into the subject online, and that's when I seen a picture of the thing I seen as a child and it brought the memory back to me. I spoke to my father about going into the house, telling him there's a Bigfoot outside, and he confirmed everything that I remember was correct, and that he remembered me coming into the house and telling him there's a Bigfoot outside. That didn't impress him anymore about the incident because he's gotten pretty old, and I didn't want to make him feel bad about blowing me off. I was born in '73 and remember watching some old movies about Bigfoot with the guy from Star Trek that showed the Patterson-Gimlin film. I've watched every video I've done about this subject. Have the utmost respect about your reasons for doing what you're doing. You can't imagine how it makes me feel knowing I'm not crazy. Use my story if you wish. I'll understand if you don't. I'd rather you don't use my name, as I'm sure you understand. Gotcha. Okay, listen, watch this. Earlier I grabbed a piece of wood and measuring tape because I don't think there's a lot of people out there that don't quite figure out, they haven't quite wrapping their noodles around how big these beings are, right? Now, to give an example, I am a 6'1". I just weighed myself, actually, I was curious. I'm 212 pounds. 6'1", 212. A lot of people are surprised when I tell them that's how much I weigh. Even some friends of mine on the boat the other day. You do? I'm like, yeah, I think it's probably, it looks off because I got a big fat Norwegian head on my shoulders, probably what it is. But just take in mind, I'm 6'1", and I'm 212 pounds. Okay, guys? Now look at this. 4 feet wide. 4 feet wide. This is 2 feet wide right here. From here on the tape measure, okay? Here's the 1 foot mark is in front of my throat. That's 2 feet. Don't forget, I'm 6'1", 212 pounds. There's 4 feet wide. That's 4 feet wide. Okay? 2 foot mark is right here on me. That's 4 feet wide. You picking up what these people are putting down? For all you that haven't seen one of these mature male beings, and I found a scrap piece of wood in the shop. This is just under 4 feet wide. Under 4 feet wide. We're center of the sucker, right about there, I'm guessing. All right, you see that? How many of you are even looking for something of that width and being alive when you're glancing into the forest with your peripheral vision? You know what I mean? How many are actually doing that? If you're curious about the subject, you think you want to see one of these people, or possibly spot one in the forest hiding, or making themselves look like a stump. Picture this. On average, this is how wide these people are. These human-like beings. Whoa, right? Holy shit. There you go. I mean, that's an enormous being. And I guess, I don't know if that's what is making us so scared shitless, is just the sheer size. I don't think so. I think this has something to do with our soul. You know what I mean? I mean, I've seen some big animals. I've seen some real big animals up close and personal in my years, including Kodiak, brown bears, Rocky Mountain grizzly bears, Coastal brown bears here. I've seen some big-ass animals. I've seen elephants. I've touched them. But their size doesn't give me adrenaline, anxiety, and fright. You know, on first sight. It doesn't happen. So what are they missing? What's missing that causes that terror in us? You know what I mean? What is missing? Why do they inflict the terror through our soul? Now, who's doing it? Is it God? Is God ensuring that we get terror in our soul when we first cast our eyes or glance upon these people? Is it God doing that? Is it our soul doing that? Or is it them doing it intentionally? You know? Why? You know what I mean? Why? That's why I want to know. What do they know? What do they know? What do they know? I'm tired of the bullshit. I want to know what you know. And whether or not you'd share it with me. I wonder how many visits that would take for me to finally possibly get some kind of reply. Obviously, I'm getting near there, right? It's funny, another thing that made me go in this direction today is my babbling. We didn't race home, but I got home yesterday, and Sarah, I took Sarah and her little nephew, Chippy's brother, is here. We went and got some food last night for dinner. And then after that, we decided to decided to get an ice cream cone at Dairy Queen. We sat there in Dairy Queen. And there's a screen playing right there in front of us on the wall, TV screen. I'm looking at it. I'm like, what's that about? Couldn't quite hear it. Then sure enough, it's one of those popular reality TV stars doing their Bigfoot segment on television. For how many times now? How many hundreds of times doing the old, and look at this. Look at this print. This could be a print, or maybe it isn't. I know it wasn't made by a human. You know, that regular bullshit theme line. And then we heard these knocks. And we started walking towards the knocks. And we thought we found the tree where these knocks were made, and the hairs were up on my neck. All right. Repeat, 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 repeat. The people with the most lens time still do the same old bullshit. Pointing out the obvious, but making it, well, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. What do you think? But look at this shape in the ground. Holy fuck. Obviously, you're not out looking for answers. Obviously. You need the views, you need the cash. I get it. It's a great topic to do it. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the bullshit. You know? Obviously, I'm getting little decibels are getting up there. I just had a fresh slice of bullshit thrown in my face again from somebody who needed to be crowdfunded, needed all your money to make another show about it. You know what I mean? Teach their own, whatever you got to do, whatever you can do, whatever you need to pay the bills. I don't give a flying shit. But for me, where I'm at right now, almost to the point of, have we exhausted all options other than take one for the team and just go do it. Let's go get it done. See if it can be done. Is it time for me to take one for the team and just go do it? Do you know what I mean? I mean, obviously I'm out there all the time, but every time I go out there, I always have the thought in my head, or I say it out loud, just leave me alone, man. Just leave me alone. I want to enjoy this lifetime and do what I'm here to do, which is do what I love to do, and I love being out here. This is my home too. But I've never, ever once gone and sat down and said, all right, I know you're here. You know I'm here. Who wants to have a bullshit session with me and answer some questions straight up and just tell me, let me know what you know. You know what I mean? I'm not repeating myself here, you guys. So what do you think? Haven't you guys had enough of the bullshit? Right? The bullshit celebrities with the bullshit recipe they use to deliver to you to get more money in their pocket without really actually ever going anywhere or changing nothing or talking about anything different or asking the questions that should be asked. You know? Am I going to be the one that does it? I don't know. Wouldn't that be something else, right? And even if I did, who would believe me? Who would believe me? They'd probably think I was making the shit up to get views or something, you know what I mean? If I went out there and finally sat down in some of these places where I know they are and said, all right, let's just do it. You win. I give in. I can't figure this shit out without you. You win. I can't do it. You win. You're forcing me to do this, in a way. I'm forcing myself, I guess. Making that choice to go and sit down and speak. Now, I wonder where... Let's just talk about that for a minute, all right? Let's just say, where's the best place going to be? Where are these beings going to be that are possibly of the required DNA in their makeup that would allow them to have an intelligent conversation back and forth instead of just mumble jumbles and being scared and threatening and doing the same shit, which I think that's valid. Same as it is with humans, right? I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of humans out there that you could go sit down with, and it's going to be, you'd be better off talking to your dog with how their brains are functioning and firing right now. That's an easy one to point out. And I'm pretty sure that's probably the same story with these other people. They probably have a fairly large population, percentage of their population. It would be like sitting down and talking to a pickle, just like humans. Some humans, right? Especially today. You see them all over the friggin' internet. Now, where'd I go? I think possibly it may be up north. I'm thinking that might be where I get my answer. Why? Because I had that, possibly if it was them, I don't know. I don't know. But if it was them, the placing of my lost knife in my backpack, if that was them, okay. I have a funny feeling that whoever is responsible to do that would also qualify to sit there across from me and tell me what they knew. I have a feeling whoever is responsible for that absolute stunning, unexplainable event in my life with that knife showing up again in my backpack, whoever is responsible for that, I have a feeling would be appropriate to communicate with me safely back and forth. Don't you think? I mean, I know a lot of places right around here where I could go sit and conjure up some kind of an experience, but I'm not so sure it would be with the right people. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. Anyways, I'm really bambling today, aren't I? Whew. So what happens when I get away from here for a handful of days? Now, oops, shit, I dropped the microphone. Got my little handheld balanced on, cordless balanced on a little item here. What else do we got? Should I keep going, or actually I should probably go outside and deal with my unexpected repairs that have come up and I have to deal with? Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go out and start dealing with all my shit. And tomorrow I am going to have a guest on here. We're gonna talk about everything we can talk about. And I want to. I don't know who it is. Sarah says they're stoked. I'm looking forward to hearing from another one of you and looking into their eyes and hearing their voice and hearing what they saw, what they heard, what they know, and sharing it with all of us. I'm looking forward to that. That's tomorrow. Because I think I'm going to have to be here for another day by myself or something. And I'll see if I can't get her to line me up someone else. And there's another person there's a lot of people out there that I've been trying to talk to and I haven't pulled it off. And then life keeps getting in the way with RD. Remember RD? RD was the man who videotaped those 5 beings in that meadow. Got to get a hold of him too. I got his phone number. I got to find it. And see if he wants to share. Maybe I can do that tonight. Or tomorrow. I'll figure it out. But you see, it's not that easy. I'm really babbling. I'm a babble case today. Holy shit. Anyway. I'll be back tomorrow with our guest. All right? Maybe we could even do it live. I don't know. I think there might be a live option on that thing. And then we'll carry on from there. And I know there's going to be a lot of concerned people, and I appreciate a lot of people concerned for me. I really do. There's a lot of caring people out there. There's going to be a lot of people probably alarmed right now that I'm thinking about making contact with these people. But trust me, I'm good. I'm good, all right? I'm good. You don't have to email me and caution me, all right? There's not enough room in my inbox anyway. But I'm good. I'm good. I'm just, something's pushing me in that direction, all right? And if something inside, I go with my gut above all. I go with my gut above anyone, anything. Above all, my gut tells me what to do. My gut's kind of urging me to do this. Why? I haven't a frickin' clue. Am I going to do it? Probably. It's looking like it. But anyways, thank you for the cautions ahead of time, all right? Don't email me and tell me not to do something. It doesn't work ever. It never works ever. When somebody tells me not to do something, trust me, it doesn't work. So don't do it, okay? I'll talk to you later. Share my story at howtohunt.com. Get it to me.